alongside Max Verstappen for 2025. So it was a tough decision in the end. I mean, Yuki as well, a very talented driver who's done a good job testing for us only recently. But in the end, when we looked at all the factors involved, we felt that Liam was the preferable candidate to put alongside Max in the 2025 season.
Red Bull Racing's team principal Christian Horner has made an unexpected reversal regarding the team's driver lineup for the 2025 Formula One season. To understand the gravity of Horner's recent statements, it is essential to review the events leading up to this point. Red Bull Racing recently parted ways with Sergio Perez following a challenging 2024 season. Despite a strong start, Perez's performance declined significantly after the Miami Grand Prix, resulting in Red Bull finishing third in the Constructors' Championship. Christian Horner provided insight into Perez's performance, stating, "Sergio started the season so well, second in Bahrain, second in Jeddah, and tremendously fast in Japan, which is an ultimate driver's circuit."
Well, basically, it's been a culmination of things. I mean, Checo started the season so strongly, 4 podiums out of 5 races. It felt like he'd taken off where he'd left off last year. But then really for Monte Carlo, that race onwards, it's been a very tough year for him. And we've tried everything with him and supporting him. And basically, he's come to his own conclusion that I think that now is the right time to.
From Monte Carlo on, the wheels came off his campaign, and from that point onwards, we just hemorrhaged too many points. The statistics paint a clear picture of Perez's decline. He scored 103 points over the first 6 race weekends, but added just 49 points to this tally over the remaining 18 weekends. His best result after Miami was a mere 6th place finish. In response to Perez's departure, Red Bull promoted Liam Lawson to partner with Max Verstappen for the 2025 season. This decision came as a disappointment to Yuki Tsunoda, who had been with Red Bull's junior team since 2021 and had hoped for a promotion to the senior team. During a recent interview at the Autosport Awards, Christian Horner was asked about potential backup drivers for the 2025 season. Horner stated, "Yuki is in the pool, but our priority is on our race drivers. Yuki is a very talented driver, and we'll be keeping a close eye on him, and Isaac Hadjar as well." This statement marks a significant shift from Red Bull's previous stance, which seemed to indicate that Tsunoda's chances of securing a seat with the senior team were diminishing. It's worth noting that this comes after Red Bull's decision to promote Lawson over Tsunoda, despite the latter's more extensive experience in Formula One. While Horner's comments have reignited speculation about Tsunoda's future with Red Bull, it is important to note that the team's primary focus remains on their current race drivers, Max Verstappen and Liam Lawson. However, Horner's acknowledgement of Tsunoda's talent and the mention of Isaac Hadjar suggests that Red Bull is maintaining a diverse pool of potential drivers. Isaac Hadjar, who finished as the runner-up in the 2024 Formula 2 Championship, has been part of Red Bull's development program since 2021. His strong performance in the junior categories has put him in contention for potential future opportunities with the team. This approach aligns with Red Bull's historical strategy of nurturing young talent through their junior program and promoting drivers to the senior team when opportunities arise. Horner's recent statements can be interpreted in several ways. On one hand, they could be seen as a genuine reconsideration of Tsunoda's potential within the Red Bull organization. On the other hand, they may be a strategic move to keep multiple options open in case unforeseen circumstances arise during the 2025 season. It is worth noting that Red Bull has a history of making quick driver changes when performance does not meet expectations. The team has demonstrated its willingness to promote or demote drivers mid-season if they believe it will benefit their overall performance. Horner himself alluded to this volatility in the sport, saying, "Who would have thought 9 months ago we'd be sitting here talking about Liam Lawson being our driver for 2025? Things change quickly in this industry, and he's aware of that and knows that he needs to be the one demonstrating that he's the one knocking on the door." Yuki Tsunoda is entering his 5th season with Red Bull's junior team, now known as Racing Bulls. Despite being overlooked for promotion to the senior team, Tsunoda remains determined to prove his worth. In a recent interview with Autosport, Tsunoda said, "I just have to give them fewer excuses or reasons why they didn't put me in that seat. I will focus on what I can control and accept everything else. I'm sure I can do a better job than they think I can do." Tsunoda's performance in the upcoming season will be crucial in determining his future within the Red Bull organization and potentially in Formula One as a whole. His 2024 season saw him score a career-best 48 points, with his best finish being 4th at the Imola Grand Prix. He also outperformed his teammate Daniel Ricciardo in qualifying and matched him in race results. Red Bull's approach to driver management has been a subject of discussion within the Formula One community. The team has a reputation for being ruthless in its decisions, often promoting young drivers rapidly, but also demoting them quickly if they fail to meet expectations. This strategy has led to mixed results. While it has produced champions like Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen, it has also been criticized for potentially stunting the development of promising drivers who may need more time to adapt to the pressures of top-tier Formula One racing. Former Haas team principal Günther Steiner recently commented on Red Bull's decision to promote Lawson over Tsunoda, stating, "I don't think that was the perfect choice. Everything was a compromise. It's one of those choices. I'm of the opinion that Tsunoda should have been given the chance." Steiner further elaborated, "Would have been a better bet. Say we put him in the car 1 year and see how he's doing. If he's not good, let him go." Now he's sitting another year in the Racing Bull, and it's not motivational for the guy as well. As the 2025 Formula One season approaches, several scenarios could unfold regarding Red Bull's driver lineup. Lawson performs well, securing his position alongside Verstappen. Lawson struggles, potentially leading to a mid-season driver change. Tsunoda excels at Racing Bulls, putting pressure on Red Bull to reconsider his position. Each of these scenarios could have significant implications for the drivers involved and for Red Bull's performance in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. The importance of having two strong performers in the team was highlighted by Red Bull's third-place finish in the 2024 Constructors' Championship. Despite Max Verstappen's individual success, scoring a total of 437 points, the team's overall performance suffered due to Perez's struggles in the latter part of the season. The 2025 season could be pivotal for Yuki Tsunoda's career in Formula One. If he is unable to secure a promotion to Red Bull's senior team, he may need to consider other options to remain in the sport. Christian Horner has previously acknowledged the challenges of keeping a driver in the support team for an extended period. Horner stated, "We're acutely aware that if we're not able to provide an opportunity for Yuki, being in all honesty this year, does it make sense to keep him? You can't have a driver in the support team for 5 years. You can't always be the bridesmaid. You've either got to let them go at that point or look at something different." These comments suggest that 2025 could be a make-or-break year for Tsunoda within the Red Bull organization. Tsunoda himself seems aware of this as he stated, "To be honest, it's not really clear. I could be in 2026 in VCARB as well, to be honest. I didn't get told anything that it would be the last race next year. I think they changed their approach a little bit with drivers. To be honest, I'm not really clear what they want."
So we can see what happened as he was making his run. Oh, indeed, just lost it under braking. Wow.
Just locked the rears. Completely locked up the rears. That is, car to be fully rebuilt. New gearbox.
After a disastrous season filled with crashes and underwhelming performances, pressure is mounting on Lance Stroll like never before. His struggles, especially in Brazil, where he bleached his car before the race even started, have drawn criticism from F1 insiders, and now even incoming Aston Martin guru Adrian Newey is reportedly not impressed. With Aston Martin's billion-dollar ambitions, a Honda partnership, and even Max Verstappen rumored for 2026, could Stroll be on the verge of losing his seat? Stroll's struggles came to a head at the Brazilian Grand Prix, where a series of incidents highlighted his difficulties. During the second quarter, Stroll crashed his car, causing significant damage and hampering the team's preparations for the race. However, it was his actions on the formation lap that drew the most attention. Stroll spun his car and, in an attempt to rejoin the track, drove through a wet gravel trap instead of using the available asphalt access road. This decision resulted in his car becoming beached, effectively ending his race before it had even begun. These incidents stand in stark contrast to the performance of his teammate Fernando Alonso. Despite both drivers facing challenges with the car's competitiveness, Alonso has consistently outperformed Stroll through throttle-wise. The disparity in their results has become increasingly apparent, with Stroll currently languishing in 13th place in the Drivers' Championship and failing to secure any podium finishes. The situation has not gone unnoticed by key figures within the Formula One community. Reports suggest that Adrian Newey, The renowned aerodynamicist, who is set to join Aston Martin, has expressed dissatisfaction with Stroll's performance. Newey's concerns center on Stroll's ability to lead the team forward and extract the maximum potential from the car. Given Newey's importance to Aston Martin's future plans, his opinion carries significant weight. Former karting rival Jarno Opmeer has also weighed in on Stroll's situation. Opmeer, who competed against Stroll in the CIKFIA European Championship in 2013, described the Canadian driver as not a bad driver, but not a superstar. He went on to say that Stroll wasn't someone you'd expect to see in Formula One, noting that while Stroll can be incredibly good for 2 or 3 races a year, he often underperforms in the rest. Ex-Formula One driver Timo Glock has been particularly critical of Stroll's attitude, especially in his interactions with the media. Glock pointed out Stroll's apparent apathy during interviews and press conferences, suggesting that there are many talented drivers who would be more deserving of his seat. These criticisms come at a crucial time for Aston Martin, as the team is in the midst of implementing ambitious plans for the future. The team has invested heavily in a new state-of-the-art factory and facilities, aiming to create an environment conducive to championship success. The Aston Martin F1 Team Technology Campus, covering 400,000 square feet, represents a significant step forward in the team's infrastructure. Furthermore, Aston Martin has secured a partnership with Honda for engine supply starting in 2026. This collaboration, coupled with Adrian Newey's impending arrival, has raised expectations for the team's future performance. There are even rumors circulating about Aston Martin potentially pursuing Max Verstappen for the 2026 season, highlighting the team's ambitious targets. These developments place Lawrence Stroll, Lance's father and the team owner, in a difficult position. As a businessman, Lawrence Stroll has invested heavily in the team with the goal of competing for championships. However, as a father, he faces the challenge of balancing family loyalty with the team's need for success. This dilemma is further complicated by pressure from sponsors and stakeholders who expect results commensurate with the team's investments. The situation has led to speculation about potential replacements for Lance Stroll. One name that has been frequently mentioned is Yuki Tsunoda. The Japanese driver has shown improved performances in recent races and has a strong connection with Honda, Aston Martin's future engine partner. Tsunoda's potential move to Aston Martin could align with the team's technical partnerships and future goals. Another driver in the mix is Felipe Drugovich, Aston Martin's reserve driver. Drugovich replaced Stroll during FP1 at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and participated in the end-of-season test. This decision provided Drugovich with valuable seat time and allowed the team to evaluate his performance in a race weekend context. The most intriguing possibility, however, remains Max Verstappen. While currently dominating the sport with Red Bull, there have been hints that Verstappen might consider other options beyond 2026. The combination of Newey's design expertise, Honda's engines, and Aston Martin's new facilities could potentially create an environment attractive to the 3-time world champion. Amidst these speculations, the role of Fernando Alonso cannot be overlooked. The Spanish driver recently signed a contract extension with Aston Martin, demonstrating his faith in the team's project. Alonso's experience and ability to extract performance from the car have been crucial for the team's development. His presence also serves as a benchmark against which Stroll's performances are measured. Looking ahead to 2025 and beyond, the importance of the 2026 regulation changes looms large. These new rules present an opportunity for teams to reset the competitive order, and Aston Martin is positioning itself to take full advantage. The team's stated goal is to contend for championships, a target that requires 2 strong drivers capable of consistently scoring points and challenging for podiums. The challenges facing Lance Stroll are numerous and significant. His recent performances have fallen short of expectations, and the criticism from respected figures in the sport has intensified the scrutiny on his position. The pressure on Lance Stroll extends beyond just his on-track performance. His attitude and approach to media engagements have drawn criticism, with some observers questioning his commitment and passion for the sport. Addressing these concerns through more engaged and enthusiastic interactions could help improve perceptions of his dedication to Formula One and Aston Martin. For Aston Martin, the decision regarding Lance Stroll's future is intertwined with broader strategic considerations. The team's investments in infrastructure, personnel, and partnerships are aimed at establishing themselves as a top-tier Formula One outfit. Achieving this goal requires not only a competitive car, but also a driver lineup capable of maximizing its potential. The outcome of this situation will have far-reaching implications for Aston Martin's future. If Lance Stroll remains with the team, he will need to demonstrate a significant improvement in performance to justify his seat. If the team decides to replace him, it would signal a prioritization of on-track results over family ties, potentially opening the door for a more competitive driver lineup. The decision facing Aston Martin extends beyond just driver selection. It encompasses the team's overall strategy for achieving its ambitious goals. With significant investments in facilities, personnel, and partnerships, the pressure to deliver results is mounting. The choice between maintaining the status quo with Lance Stroll or pursuing a potentially more competitive alternative could shape the team's future trajectory. The arrival of Adrian Newey in 2025 adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Newey's track record of success with multiple teams makes his input on driver selection highly valuable. The Honda partnership, set to begin in 2026, also factors into the equation. The Japanese manufacturer's return to Formula One as a works team partner comes with high expectations. Honda's experience with Red Bull, which has resulted in multiple championships, sets a precedent for success. Aston Martin will be keen to replicate this achievement, potentially influencing their driver lineup decisions. The role of Fernando Alonso in this scenario cannot be understated. As a two-time world champion with extensive experience in developing cars, Alonso's feedback and performance serve as a benchmark for the team. His ability to extract performance from the car highlights areas where improvements can be made, both in terms of vehicle development and driver performance.
Well, the great and good of Formula One are gathered here in London for the Autosport Awards tonight, but the big story of the day was created by Lewis Hamilton, who had a minor crash testing a Ferrari, a 2023 Ferrari car at the Circuit de Catalunya.
Lewis Hamilton's testing car crashed at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, a venue well known to F1 drivers and teams. Hamilton, who was sharing driving duties with teammate Charles Leclerc, lost control of the team's 2023 car, resulting in a collision with the barriers. The incident occurred towards the end of the lap, causing damage to both the bodywork and suspension of the SF23.
Had to be recovered and taken back to the pits for repairs. Hamilton didn't do any more driving today, and Charles Leclerc, who was due to take over the same Ferrari car, was unable to complete any running in the afternoon session. Ferrari have another day of testing in Barcelona. The original intention was for their reserve and development drivers to complete that running. It remains to be seen if perhaps Hamilton and Leclerc now take that over. And Lewis Hamilton will have another opportunity to test more recent Ferrari equipment in Barcelona next week when the team undertakes a Pirelli tyre test.
Ferrari has declined to comment on the specifics of the incident, maintaining a policy of secrecy around their private test sessions. However, sources close to the team have confirmed that Hamilton emerged from the crash unharmed. A team source told AFP that Hamilton was absolutely okay and was still in the process of exploring the car's limits. The crash happened on Ferrari's second of 3 days of running at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, which is the venue for the Spanish Grand Prix. This testing session is part of Ferrari's efforts to integrate Hamilton into the team as effectively as possible before the start of the 2025 season, which kicks off with the Australian Grand Prix on March 14th to 16th. To understand the full implications of this event, it's crucial to examine the context of the testing session. Ferrari's current testing program is governed by Formula One's strict regulations, known as TPC, or testing of previous cars. These rules dictate that current race drivers can complete a maximum of 1,000 kilometers of running in previous year cars. For Hamilton, this crash comes at a critical juncture in his career. Having spent 12 successful years with Mercedes, his move to Ferrari represents one of the most significant transfers in F1 history. The transition to a new team, with different procedures, working methods, and car characteristics, is a formidable challenge even for a driver of Hamilton's caliber. Hamilton's testing program with Ferrari began on January 22nd at the team's Fiorano test track, where he completed 30 laps. The subsequent 3-day test in Barcelona was designed to build on this initial experience, allowing Hamilton to deepen his understanding of the car and team dynamics. Working closely with race engineer Riccardo Adami and the rest of the engineering group, Hamilton has been focused on learning Ferrari's unique approaches and systems. The crash in Barcelona marks Hamilton's third day in the SF23 overall. On the first day of the Barcelona test, Hamilton drove the car on Tuesday afternoon after Leclerc had taken the wheel during the morning session. Ferrari had provided fresh images of the 7-time world champion in their famous red colors, both on track and working with the team's engineers. While Ferrari maintains that the crash is nothing out of the ordinary, viewing it as part of the natural process of a driver adapting to an unfamiliar car, the incident has undoubtedly disrupted their carefully planned testing schedule. Charles Leclerc, who was due to take over driving duties from Hamilton on the afternoon of the crash, saw his planned running delayed as a result. In fact, reports suggest that Leclerc did not run at all after Hamilton's accident. The impact of this setback extends beyond the immediate disruption to the testing program. With F1's tight restrictions on testing, every lap counts in a driver's preparation for the upcoming season. Motorsport.com. Italy reported that the incident caused enough bodywork and suspension damage for Ferrari to spend significant time repairing the car. The initial plan for Leclerc to take over had to be abandoned, as daylight had faded by the time repairs were complete. Looking ahead, Ferrari has a packed schedule of events and further testing opportunities. The team is set to unveil their 2025 car at Fiorano on February 19th, just one day after F1's season launch event at the O2 Arena in London. Before this, Hamilton is expected to participate in a Pirelli-run tire test, offering another chance to gain mileage and experience with his new team. Following the car launch, Ferrari plans 2 additional days of testing at Barcelona on February 4th to 5th. This session will utilize a modified version of their 2024 car, adapted to help simulate the downforce and performance characteristics of the 2026 rules. These tests, along with the official preseason testing in Bahrain from February 26th to 28th, will be crucial in determining Hamilton's readiness for his Ferrari debut at the Australian Grand Prix. It's worth noting that Ferrari will remain at Barcelona with the SF23 even after Hamilton and Leclerc conclude their testing. Development drivers Antonio Giovinazzi and F1 test debutant Dino Beganovic are expected to take over for a final day of testing on Thursday. The historical context of Hamilton's crash adds another layer of intrigue to the situation. This is not the first time Hamilton has experienced difficulties during preseason testing with a new team. In late January 2007, ahead of his rookie season with McLaren, Hamilton suffered a high-speed crash in Valencia. Testing on the pit straight, Hamilton lost control of the car and skated across the gravel into the wall at a speed just shy of 300 kilometers per hour. While it was a significant impact, Hamilton emerged unharmed. Similarly, in 2013, his first year with Mercedes saw him crash on his initial day of testing in Jerez. Hamilton was just 15 laps into preseason testing when he suffered a brake failure at the Turn 6 hairpin. This incident marked the end of the day for the then one-time champion, and he would not get back behind the wheel until 2 days later. Interestingly, these previous incidents did not prevent Hamilton from achieving significant success with both teams, after narrowly missing out on the title in his debut season with McLaren.